Hello, Florence.
Hi,
How are you? Good to
how
see
are
you back.
you? Nice to see you.
Thank you. So, jumping into the topic of today right away.
You always have so many good questions. I'm curious
Well,
to
I
know.
am curious. I'm really curious. We had a lot of discussions, and some just jumped out because it's your reality. I know that you have a lot of experience. I know that you have a lot to share.
Mhm.
And I certainly have a lot to learn, and I would like to share that learning with others.
Mhm.
I also realize that, having those conversations, I observe myself, asking myself sometimes, can I ask the question? Is it
Mhm.
even appropriate? But
Mhm.
then if we don't start asking, we will never know, and I will never know whether other people would appreciate me asking.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
That's
I ask someone who I know knows
yes.
and who is ready and able to share. And so, yeah, that we all can learn a little bit. And
Yeah.
today we wanted to talk about what it is like, what it feels like to switch between two cultures, or more than two for that matter.
Mhm.
But what
Mhm.
is it? Switching between cultures for
Mhm.
you, what does it mean? Do
Mhm.
you even have to switch?
That's a good question. I mean, as I was born in Germany, as you know, and my German mom raised me, my main culture I've been living in is the German culture. But I've got parents, biological parents, of course, and I also, as a child, I also had to spend some time with them. And then, yes, then I remember I had to switch the culture because the life with my German mom, my German white mom, was different compared to the life with my parents,
Mhm.
like what do we eat? What language do they try to speak with me? Although I never wanted to speak Yoruba with them. Yeah. So that's the language they spoke, and English, of course, and German, but they wanted me to learn Yoruba, and then they spoke that language with me because they're from Nigeria. Um, and the kind of behavior. I mean, when I was at home with my white German mom, I was able to play with my dolls and just being a child.
Mhm.
And that was different when I was with my parents. I don't want to say that that's typical for Nigerian people. Perhaps it is, but it was typical for my parents. And when I lived in Nigeria as a kid, then, of course, I had to switch. And that was a switch I had to do daily because I attended a German school.
Mhm.
And there it was like being in Germany. And then when I went home, I was in Nigeria again. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is what I felt as a child, like being constantly in a transit situation, always traveling back and forth.
How consciously did you make the change?
Um, in my behavior because I had to adapt to what was was meant to be in our
Expected from
Nigerian
you.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so never speak up, never talk when adults are in the room, never just play around. Yeah, you have
Mhm.
to be useful, don't be useless. Yeah, such things. Just sitting around playing with the dolls was a no-no. Yeah,
Mhm.
helping in the household. Okay, that's not nothing bad. I mean, we have that here in Germany too. But I had the feeling that when I was at home,
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to be a child anymore. And when I was at school, I was allowed to be that 9 or 10-year-old child.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would you call it a different setting that you found yourself in when you came from that German world to the Nigerian
Oh
world and
yes. Oh yes. Yes.
switched back?
Definitely. Definitely. It was another world, a whole
Mhm.
different world. Yeah. So that was a different setting. I had the feeling that entering the plane in Frankfurt, I
Mhm.
also had to leave myself back on the airport.
Mhm.
And my mom, my German mom, took my inner self with me. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it
And
wasn't
she
in
took care of
Nigerian.
you, and then you would have it when you went back to Germany.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
How
So
incredible.
this
Wow.
was, but I don't want to say that it was only negative. When I was a child, yes, I thought, well, I want to go back home.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it provided me with the ability switching, and now it's a positive thing, switching between two cultures, adapting to an environment which I wasn't used to. This
Mhm.
is why I can do that now as an adult. For me,
Yeah.
it's not complicated when I'm somewhere else or when I'm in a room with people I don't know to adapt.
Is
Yeah.
it like second nature? Yeah,
Yeah.
for you.
And so that's why I'm not, it's not something negative, and I don't feel like, oh, my childhood was so bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't look in a negative way back into that years. I think it's a gift. Let me say so. Yeah. So it's something that enables me now to be able to, yeah, to switch when it's necessary.
Mhm. And it probably gives you a lot of good understanding when it comes to other people. I think of your students, for example.
Yes.
Do you have situations where you realize they need to make that effort and can help them a little bit?
Oh, yes. When I have or when I speak to students who say, well, when I come home, we have to live the culture my parents come from, because they either want to teach me that culture or they simply don't want to adapt to the German culture, which
Hmm.
is okay.
Yeah.
Which is okay. And sometimes the kids say, well, for me, it's a little bit difficult because I want to be like my friends are. And when I have white German friends and they live another life, I
Mhm.
want to live this life as well. Yeah. But I always tell them, well, you have more in your inner self than a person who does not have to switch.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
see it in a positive way and take it as something, yeah, as a gift or something that is not that negative.
Well, as a
Or is
capacity, as
positive.
a competence that they have
That's right.
automatically by how they are brought up, how they
Yeah.
grow up.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's not only the language, some of them speak more than just one language. Yeah. It's
yeah,
not only
yeah.
that they have the ability of speaking more languages, they also have like a cross-cultural ability of living,
Mhm. Mhm.
which I think is very good.
Yeah. So what would you recommend to people to do in order to understand a little bit more about that switching or to learn
Mhm.
themselves how
Mhm.
to either treat other people or change for other people their
Yeah.
way of
What
behaving?
I would recommend is what my German mom did. She told me, where we lived in Germany, we live another life compared to your parents. But it's not a good or a bad life, it's just different.
Different.
Yeah. So the culture that you experience with your parents is not bad, it's different. And this is also what I try to tell my students. I mean, I'm not in contact with students that much anymore because I don't work in a school
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah. But still, when I talk to young people and they tell me about that, I say, well, don't think that it's bad or it's good. So there is no good culture or bad culture as long as it doesn't do you any harm. Yeah. If something is harmful, then of course it's not good, it's
Yeah.
harmful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if not, then just take it as two cultures and take the positive things from each culture and mix them. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, this is what I also do. Look at my hair. Yeah. Of course, this is very African, not only Nigerian, it's very African. Yeah. Or my eating habits. I love plantains. And for everyone who does not know, who don't know what plantains are, these are, I don't know, can you say cooked bananas?
Mm.
Perhaps you cannot
Platanas.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Mhm.
love plantains. Yeah, this is a regular food. I love spicy food. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love jollof rice. This is typical Nigerian. I know there's also Ghanaian jollof rice, but I love the
Mm.
Nigerian one. Yeah, and all these things. So there was one day that I realized, wow, you have more Nigerian habits than you like to admit. Yeah, so that's good. It's something positive. And my son as well, although he has never been to Nigeria, he loves plantains. He really loves Nigerian food when we are able to get it somewhere at festivals or so. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I love, well, not love, but I'm able to eat with my hands, which I learned back
Yeah.
those days in Nigeria. So take the positive things and enjoy them. That's what I
All right.
always experience. Oh, always want to tell the people to experience.
Thank you for sharing that with us today.
You're
Love it.
welcome.
Because it might be a challenge for a lot of people how to also accept that these two souls or worlds live within you and how to, yeah, really deal with it and appreciate both sides.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thank you for that, Florence, for today's sharing. Hope everyone can take a lot of maybe insight for themselves.
Mhm.
Should you be in the position that you have to switch between two cultures and see how you are doing? Share it in the comments if you like. And we see each other very soon.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you very
So
much, Florence. Have a lovely day.
thank you too, and bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.